piece is called O-A-E because the syllables O-A-E were placeholders that I used when I was writing the piece. They were just the first things that popped into my head. I meant to replace them, but when I went back and listened to it, I liked them a lot. And it actually became the title track of an album that I put out in 2010, kind of about phonetics and syllables based off of the shape of your mouth and the meaning that comes from the words that come from the shapes that you make with your mouth. It's a through-composed piece, and but there's actually a lot of room given to the performer in terms of timbre. So for instance, the violin part has some instructions written that say, sound like a fly, or imitate the Doppler effect. Even though there are note heads on staves, some of them are followed with sort of graphic indications to increase density, or to trail off, or hover microtonally around a note. And in this case, actually, the laptops part will be almost entirely improvised. It's kind of a block form piece, and so Jascha, who'll be performing on laptop, he has a score, so he knows the quiet, loud sections and the slow, fast. But I kind of wanted something unrelated.
When Hannis asked me to play this piece with him, I misunderstood him, and I thought he was going to have samples that had to happen at certain points in the music, and I just would trigger them for him. I thought I'd be reading a score and just launching sounds at the right time. And then talking to him, it turned out that's not what he thought at all. He has a score and he just wanted sounds on top of it. And he gave very, very broad, very vague directions. He wanted fuzzy sounds and industrial sounds. And so I just spent the day making a whole bunch of sounds. I kind of wrote them, designed them myself in a kind of computer programming language, and tried them out today, and they seem to work pretty well. So my part is extremely loose. There's just 3 parts of the score where I need to actually pay attention and do something on purpose, and then the rest of the time I'm just kind of in the background. And I think that's what Hannis wanted. I listened to both versions of his piece online, the string quartet version and the kind of more band version from his album. The band version is definitely swimming in noise, and there's a lot of effects on the guitar, and it has this kind of swirling sound to it anyway, so I think it fits right in, just having lots of random noise in the background. I did all the sound design in Super Collider, which is a programming language, and it's my usual place to work. So most of the sounds are just designed myself. They're just electronic sounds, and I kind of put them together. And then there's a couple sounds in there where I'm using little samples that I'm changing, and I have a little sample of a train that I recorded many years ago in Canada. I have a sample of some kind of machine vent thing that I found at a construction site. And so there's a couple real sounds that are woven in there, but I'm doing a lot of stuff to them also.
When I perform with a loop pedal, something unexpected always happens. It's difficult to hit a loop pedal directly on the beat, and actually often my favorite parts of performances that I've used the loop pedal are things where they've gone disastrously wrong, and something goes way out of phase, and that forces me way outside of my comfort zone. And a lot of my music is sort of imbued with this sense of anxiety, and actually being forced out of your comfort zone, I think is great for the performers to like feel their own anxiety and convey that to the listeners.